Do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no.
I just know that the Try Guys are so stressed out this morning because Ned Fulmer thought that it would be a great idea for him to come back to the internet with a podcast titled Rock Bottom. Well, he's got that right. It has been 3 years since the cheating scandal involving the Try Guys. Remember Mr. Wife Guy right here who was caught cheating with one of the employees? He told People Magazine, it looks like he did an exclusive with People Magazine, that he's ready to share his story and move on to a new chapter. In September 2022, fans discovered photos and videos of perceived intimacy between Ned Fulmer and an employee at the Try Guys office. The YouTube group decided to release a statement that they would no longer be working with Ned because he was messing around with an employee and he's married with children. Ned later released a statement admitting to losing focus and apologized to the Try Guys fans and, of course, his wife, Ariel. Now, for Ned's return, he decided to have his first guest on this podcast be his wife, Ariel. And a lot of people are just concerned at how she's doing nowadays. Like, how is Ariel holding up after her life was completely ruined? The scandal was put online, and now everyone's looking at her like waiting for her to leave her man.
The challenging thing is it's been complicated for a while. I mean, we are still friends. We have children together. We go on trips together.
Right.
Like, you know, there's a spectrum of being together, not together.
Right.
Like there's ways in which we're together, but it's like the way that everyone wants to know, like, are you guys still like an item? Are you guys still a couple? Like, no.
Well, do not worry, guys. She has left Ned. They have officially separated. It's been 3 years since the scandal, so I don't know why it took so long. I mean, they do have young children, so that's part of the reason. Actually, look at Ned. He was actually out the other day, September 7th, with some random girl, and look at his face right here. How creepy he looks, like talking to this woman who's clearly not Ariel. And you know what? They've moved on, so he's allowed to move on, but I'm still bitter. According to a witness, Ned was chatting with this woman, not his wife, for a really long time, but there was no noticeable PDA, thank God. Now, in his podcast episode, he does talk about his relationship with Ariel. They've been trying to work on co-parenting, going on vacations together, trying to create some normalcy for their children.
This last 3 years.
No, we haven't.
Like, there's moments when we kind of tried, but just because you go to a Taylor Swift concert together doesn't mean that you're, you know, that
Doesn't
all
mean
is
you're
forgiven. And you're
Now, they claim they started couples counseling, but they said there were too many points where it was unclear whether their relationship would survive or not. Though he says that every cent that they spent on therapy was worth it. It's certainly stronger than it was before. We have a much clearer sense of boundaries, understanding and respecting each other's boundaries, which is interesting because they share children together. So the fact that they don't have like boundaries already figured out, probably part of the reason why this all happened. I mean, I blame Ned. Reflecting on the uproar from the cheating scandal, Ned acknowledges his behavior came in stark contrast from the way he presented himself online. Again, trying to play the wife guy in the group. Quote, "It's pretty well known that I was presenting myself as the wife guy who talked about his adorable relationship. It was something fans seemed to resonate with, and I leaned into it." That gives me a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to these Try Guys, because how authentic are they? I mean, if Ned is completely faking his identity for this show where they're supposed to be their authentic selves, then I'm like, you know, side-eyeing the other guys. He said, "I understand why it was such a big scandal, because it's ironic and it feels like a rug pull to people. That must have been really painful and devastating to viewers."
and, you know, it's hard to hear you saying, like, if I don't forgive you. Like, of course I get it. I mean, you're still very angry.
Yeah, of course I'm angry. You know, not having sat in this position for 3 years. Yeah, of course I'm still angry. We lost a lot. I found out about your affair from the fans. I mean, somebody sent me a picture and I couldn't, it's like for some reason I didn't see what was actually there in the picture. I thought it was your sister. And I remember sending it to you and being like, what's your sister doing in New York? It was, and I think back on that and I think like, what was I, like, how did
There's a reason why Hollywood stars always seem to walk away from scandals untouched. Just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. Most regular people, including me, don't have a legal army behind them. And if you're injured in an accident, insurance companies try their best to pay you as little as possible. That is where Morgan & Morgan comes in. With over 1,000 attorneys and 100 offices across the country, they are built to fight for regular people, not corporations. In Florida, a client was offered $350,000 by an insurance company. Morgan & Morgan stepped in and got them $12 million. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome, but these stories are what they do every day. And it's easier than ever. You don't have to deal with those piles of paperwork. You also don't have to pay anything up front. You can even start your claim right now within minutes by using your phone. You can get started by scanning the QR code on the screen using your phone's camera. Remember, the fee is free unless they win. If you ever find yourself injured, then check out Morgan & Morgan. Again, you can start your claim today by scanning the QR code or visiting the link in my description below. It's fast, it's simple, and it could change everything. It's obviously not how real relationships work, and I think that disconnect was challenging for me to deal with. I obviously dealt with it in a very self-destructive way. So now he's made his return on his podcast, Rock Bottom, and his first guest is Ariel. Now, not everyone needs a podcast, but if you haven't seen my podcast episode for the Let's Get Into It podcast, definitely go and check that out. Here's the episode, and it looks like it's sitting at about 4,000 views right now. Let's read some of these comments. Supporting Ariel is truly the only reason I'm here. Quote, as disappointed as we were that something private became a public spectacle, the thing you did in public, well, yeah, he was the one cheating in public, so yeah, it became a public spectacle. Good for Ariel for not forgiving him, but also co-parenting kindly. I hope she finds someone who loves her like the amazing queen she is. Someone said the Try Guy's office must be popping off right now. This intro is absolutely hilarious. What is this man even saying? I'm just here for Ariel. She deserves to be heard and tell her story. The fact that Ariel found out by fans on the internet is crazy. That is so true. Honestly, you should give all the ad revenue from this to Ariel. You don't deserve to profit and market a new podcast off of her pain.
Personally, I am very much going to tune into the first episode, but I'm curious to see where the rest of the podcast will go from there. It seems like Ned wants to interview canceled people mostly, and I guess what they did afterward. I'm a little bit curious to see who would even go on to his podcast.
It's funny, I joked with my sister after finding you were doing a podcast. Imagine if he's like, how did it feel when I cheated on you and tried to destroy our family? But you really did that. I made a video about this on TikTok. Let's go ahead and see some of those comments. Correct, we only care about Ariel and the boys. Dream guest on my podcast, my ex, which is a quote from JoJo Siwa. I had to like that one. Plot twist, he brings on Alex in an episode. Why does he still want to be online? Come on, he worked as an energy chemist before BuzzFeed and the Try Guys. Don't know why he wouldn't go back to a normal life. I hope she actually left him until I see her announce it officially. I'm skeptical. I'm so sad she stuck out for 3 years. Ugh, I hope one person watches it and tells us what he says because nobody actually wants to watch it, but I will be including clips throughout this video. My question is why she's still with him. Wait, ex, I thought I read in the people that they went to therapy and still married. Yeah, well, they're not. They're separating.
Do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no, absolutely not. How can you forgive somebody for lying to you?
And good for Ariel. She should be leaving this man because he clearly did not cherish their relationship or their children or even respect her enough to go and break it off before he decided to go and sleep around with an employee. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.